Tonight we're here at the Aberfeldie Sports Club and we're going to meet some of the legends of this club. It's the 70th anniversary this year. Let's go and talk to some of those greats now. What were your memories of the club back then? You know, the surrounds, the ground, the club rooms, the vibe?
It's changed quite a bit. The change rooms haven't changed quite that much, but you know, for me, just being outside, running around and spending hours and hours after training, just kicking goals from the pocket and you know, spending some great time with friends. They're just fantastic memories, and you know, it's just a great way to grow up as a kid.
My oldest, who's now captain coach here, he started in under 10s, no, under 12s, because they didn't have an under 10s then. Yeah. So my husband actually started up the under 10s here. So he was in for a few years because he was pretty young, but he loved it, and then he'd always be up a grade playing, and then his little brother played, so they played together. And yeah, scoring, I was always a scorer. Sausage sizzles, all those things.
The ground we were now playing on was just a paddock.
Right.
And the slope down to the river, down to the creek behind us, and we played there for 3 years on that ground.
And it was dangerous, no covers. If anyone made a 50, you batted really well. It was.
If it had a bit of moisture the day before or the morning of, it was whipping through, was it?
And you decided whether you, well, yeah, it was dangerous.
Yeah.
It was dangerous. And then now it's fantastic to see what we've got now.
1995, at 32 years of age, we won a B grade premiership. So it's taught me highs and it's taught me lows and it's taught me how to handle those.
I think what I'd be proudest of is part of a very much a team of people, male and female, who've sort of brought the club along to being a modern, responsive club and developed it in a way that, as far as my judgment goes, is very user-friendly, hospitable, has very strong values, reaches out to the community.
Everyone who became a president at Aberfeldie all contributed something along the way. Everybody, you know, and every little bit helped. What we were so fortunate in, this was a community of ex-servicemen and women.
The facilities weren't that great. The oval was, you know, just a typical football oval with a cricket pitch in the middle. You know, when it rained, it got muddy, and then when it dried out, it got rock hard. But you know, as a kid, you don't really care about all that sort of stuff. You just, as long as there's a football out in the oval, and you know, Wednesday and Friday night trainings, and then you know, usually on Saturdays, Mum and Dad were one of the last ones here. They even forgot me here.
When I turned up here initially, it was just a club full of passion, not a lot of direction. Right. And there was a few good dads, and we got together and we sort of try to design what does a successful junior club look like.
My first memory of here is watching Justin Madden being a goal umpire. Yeah. So bear in mind, I didn't know very much about footy, and I'm thinking, what is going on down there? Well, it looked quite amusing because, of course, the jacket didn't really go down that far on him. But to watch people that love the sport and are so involved and that would actually jump in and do anything.
Every club has its legends. What would you, in describing a legend, what does it look like to you, and who would that be?
It's interesting, Brian, because I reckon a legend is around. It's very easy to tell you who's the biggest legend of this club. It's just one person, actually two people. It's him and his wife. But it's just that passion to create an environment for people to flourish in. And John and Gail Larkins, who you've met and you've interviewed, they have just created, John's 20 years as senior.
He's amazing,
Well,
isn't
it's
he?
just amazing. And but a lot of good people close behind him, but they're legend status, and you can't go past them.
Chris Rakovolis, who's the man that was here from the original buildings to this day, he still supports. And I look at people like that, not just great performers on the ground. I think it's what you've done for the club over the year, and you know, you beat the drum for the club.
Jeff Brown as team manager, and a guy that did a lot of the videos, and again put a lot of hours and, you know, sort of unpaid time into the footy club. But
Jack, I don't know if you've heard of Jack, but Jack used to run sausage sizzles in the bar and smoke us all out, and yeah.
At my time, and this actually may come across as a little bit of a surprise, there was a fellow that played, but he also showed me some great values, and it was Paul Hayward. For the way that he actually conducted himself.
It's Anthony Danaher. Right. So you know, I have very fond memories of Anthony. Joey's a year older than my son, so we kind of kept leapfrogging.
If you could sum this place up, the Abers Sports Club, in a paragraph, how would you put it?
We do have values, and we've created a learning environment through a number of initiatives, Indigenous, things like that, charity days, which have probably brought the club a long way from what it was, without, again, I say, with any disrespect to what it had been before.
Well, it's a family club, you know, it always has been. There is, if you're untoward in the club, you get a tap on the shoulder and say, oh, this is not the way you behave at Aberfeldie.
The rich history and how proud people should be to still be associated with this club. So the fact that it has been as strong as it has been for as long as it has been shows you that the foundation is most definitely there.
Very welcoming, I think. I've always tried to do that as well. If someone new comes in, like to come and have a drink, come and join us.
And now Aberfeldie's got this wonderful stance in local communities about not only the way the football club runs, but the whole club as a collective, and that's something as an Aberfeldie person that you're really proud of.
It's just a great local footy club, right?
Yeah.
And you want to be part of a league and a competition, and you want to do the competition proud. You want opposition teams to come here and say, gee, that's a good club.
A lot of nostalgia, a lot of history, a lot of incredible times.
Such a great environment and a great footy club for getting kids involved and teaching them about teamwork and instilling good values and good cultures in them.
It's not the quality of the pavilion, it's the quality of the people within the pavilion. And again, Abers are winners.
If you're not making dust, you're eating dust, and this club is making dust.
"70 years is an important moment in the history of the sports club. As the current participants, we understand the importance of continuing to lay the foundations that have been set over the history of the club. Again, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank our loyal supporters, the volunteers, the sponsors, the past players across all sections for their continued support of the current day players. We understand how important it is as the current participants to represent the club moving forward. And again, we thank you for your contribution over a period of time, and we look forward to celebrating our 70th year.